one, you shall not commit adultery. Okay. I'll tell you how the people in the ancient times got away with this. They had 700 wives. I'm not committing adultery. That's my wife. That's number 684. That's what they did. And so, because there was no rule that says, you know, you only can have one wife, it just said you should not commit adultery. So they went on and had 700. King Solomon, who never existed anyhow, he had 700 wives who also didn't exist because they had 700 and the number was 7, and we were going to do that at another time. But all this is mythology. Okay. The scripture is written here in a beautiful way to show you the relationship between, first of all, a macrocosm. Okay, and the macrocosm in the universe is Uranus, which is the controlling planet in this particular age we're in, and Gaia, which is Mother Earth. In other words, excuse me, we have the mother, we have the father, and we have the marriage, the bridegroom, and the bride. Now, you bring that down, just like I showed you before, from a macrocosm down to a microcosm, and you come inside of your head, and you have the mind, father, and you have the spirit, mother. So there's a part inside of you that longs to understand truth, and that part should be allowed to intercourse with the divine mind. Unfortunately, most of us, all of our lives, have intercoursed downstairs with what the Bible calls the strange woman. And with that, we set up for ourselves some extremely strange types of things that we believe in. And our belief is centered around somebody by the name of God, incapable of forgiving you unless this person, God, resorts to violence. Doesn't know how to figure out how to do this, so decides to get a little girl pregnant, comes down, has her give birth to him so he can kill himself. And he has a bunch of guys kill him who don't know what they're doing, and then he sets up everybody to know that he's going to resurrect on the third day, and nobody shows up for that, and so he flies back to heaven, and this is God. This is it. And so our whole basis then of life is based around this thing. I was reading something. I was in a doctor's office the other day, and I'll say very little about that, because that was a trip, but I won't say anything about that. But there was an article in their Newsweek magazine, and very interesting, and it was about depression.